Guys, so Sunday night, and the news is not stopping. Nebraska is going after Julian Fleming as well as Kyle Mccord. So they're trying to land a pair of Buckeyes here for this offense. I read something earlier that the Nebraska offense has not did not have a receiver that gained over 350 yards last season. So Nebraska is in desperate and dire need to be a wide receiver home. And Julian Fleming, Nebraska has a lot of young wide receivers. You have Malachi Moore, you have Jaden Lloyd, or not Malachi Moore, you have Malachi Coleman, rather. And you also have like Jaden Lloyd. And then, Emmett Johnson is a young running back. And there also was another receiver, Jaden Doss, out of Peculiar, Missouri. So Nebraska has a lot of young wide receivers, and they need a veteran. And Julian Fleming would be that veteran. Now, Julian Fleming was recruited as the number one wide receiver in the entire nation, I believe in the 2019 class. He's played with Justin Fields. He's played with C.J. Stroud. Last year, he even caught, I believe, maybe 5 touchdowns from C.J. Stroud. This year, he had 14 catches for about 276 yards with Kyle Mccord. So he kind of has, throughout practice with Kyle Mccord, exclude game reps, he's been practicing a lot with Kyle Mccord because at Ohio State, you have Olave, Garrett Wilson, and now Marvin Harrison Jr. So guys, and Jackson Smith and Jigba was on Ohio State. So a lot of times Julian Fleming, unfortunately for Fleming, was pushed to the back burner. But him and Kyle Mccord were running with the twos the entire time, so I'd imagine they'd have a very close relationship. Also, Julian Fleming is also a native of the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. Kyle Mccord is a Philly guy, and Fleming is based, in Bloomsburg, PA, which is about a couple of hours north from Philly. So this connection could very well be very good for Nebraska. It could get both of these guys deals, NIL deals, as they're both seniors, and it'll give Kyle Mccord a familiar face to throw the football to. And also, if you're Julian Fleming, you're going to get opportunities at Nebraska. There really isn't any wide receivers that are proven at all on that roster. Then the tight end position, you got Kyle Fedoni and Borkature. But Fedoni is also trying to get back to speed from his devastating injury past at Nebraska. So it's not like Julian Fleming has the greatest upside in the world at the college level. He's a little bit slower. He doesn't really separate all that well, but he does have good hands. He's a very good, third down wide receiver, okay? And he brings a ton of experience, and he's going to help the young guys. He's like your locker room culture guy, but he's also going to be critical on third downs to move the chains, and he's probably going to have his best year as a college football player if he plays at Nebraska with Kyle Mccord. There's just going to be chances for him. And again, he's going to bring tons of wisdom, I think, to the wide receiver room. By all accounts, he's a great guy. And it shows something about Fleming that he's played behind these all-time Buckeye greats, and he's played behind all of these NFL wide receivers, but he hasn't shown the... He hasn't left. He's been loyal to Brian Hartline and Ryan Day, and now he could go to Nebraska and really get a chance to shine. However, is he going to be a number one receiver? Is he going to be what Trey Palmer was at Nebraska? Is he going to come in and light the world on fire as a transfer? I don't see that. I don't see that upside, and unfortunately for Fleming, if he was going to be a total stud number one wide receiver, it would have revealed itself with C.J. Stroud and at Ohio State. However, at Nebraska, he's going to be a vital possession receiver. He's going to come in and immediately be option 1 or option 1A, and he's going to be fine. Nebraska really needs these two recruits. You really need Kyle McCord. That's one. And then Fleming is a really solid piece, especially for this year as these young guys are going to develop. Is it a 5-star or 5 stars? Is it a hidden gem with incredible upside? Probably not. But it's, again, a possession receiver. You're going to need a slot receiver that is really going to help your offense. So that's what Julian Fleming is, again. And you also show to some recruiters, hey, Nebraska's here to recruit wide receiver. This is the former number one rated recruit, and this is one of the bigger names in the transfer portal in terms of, name recognition and in terms of a guy that can come in and are ready to play wide receiver. If Garcia Castaneda didn't get injured, he also would have helped out in the process. So Nebraska's probably not done with wide receiver. They should probably add like a speedster from a Sun Belt, university. They should really look at, schools that are playing in group of 5 that have tremendous wide receivers, and they should look for guys with real speed that could take the top off of a defense, and they should look for more projects and more players with some big-time upside. But I'll tell you what, guys, I like where Nebraska is going here with Kyle McCord and Julian Fleming, and we're going to see how this all shakes out. They officially offered McCord. He's going to visit next week. That's what his dad said. And then also Julian Fleming is now involved, too, with Nebraska. These two are very close. Kyle McCord has also started to follow a lot of the Nebraska players on Instagram. Take that for what you will. All righty, guys, tell me what you think about Fleming and Kyle McCord. We're just trying to get incremental gains at Nebraska. It's not like Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison are coming aboard, but, come on, we're trying to make a bowl game here. We're trying to win 7 games. We're trying to add depth to this quarterback and wide receiver room that was absolutely abhorrent last year, okay? Daniel Kalen needs a veteran to kind of learn from. Why not Kyle McCord? You're going to be playing close games with really good defense. Kyle McCord showed that he can win those type of close games, all right? So maybe there's some upside here with these two players, okay, that, maybe you can get something out of McCord and especially Julian Fleming, all right? All righty, guys. Thank you guys for watching and commenting on the videos. I really appreciate it, Nebraska fans. All righty, guys. Thank you.